LSU in the SEC ACC Challenge, taking down Florida State 85-75. Overcoming adversity, losing a key player early on. The boys not deterred at all. Played clean basketball against one of the most disruptive teams in the entire country. Coach McMahon, congrats on the huge win last night. 7-1 on the year. How are we feeling this morning?
Awesome. Thanks so much. Was really proud of our guys. I thought they competed at a high level. It was a physical game. You know, Florida State's the second tallest team in the country. I thought our rim protection was awesome. And then just the offensive execution in the second half was top-notch to put up 53 points and pull away for the win.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you about the offensive execution because here's a team in Florida State, as you referenced in the postgame last night, third in the country in steals coming in, or in causing turnovers coming in. And, I mean, not only do you have a relatively new team in terms of getting all these guys to gel and everything else, but then Jalen Reed goes down at the beginning of the game, so things are switched up even more. How is it that your team was able to play such clean basketball so early on in the season against such a disruptive team? Like, what was the key there?
Well, I think on the offensive end, it was just really good guard play from Jordan Sears, Cam Carter, Jai Bailey, and Victorious Miller. You know, you've mentioned it. Florida State, Bob, they make it so tough on you. You cannot run offensive plays against them. They switch every single screen. They deny every pass. So you have to use your dribble drive, and it's more about matchups. And so what I thought our players did a good job, especially in the second half, when we got their five-man, their center defending our guard, we had the floor properly spaced. We were able to drive it. And not to bore you into details, but we got good advantages there. And then the last piece of it, when we took the shot, now their guards were matched up on our big guys. And our big guys were able to crash the offensive glass. You know, Corey Chess, Damian Collins, and Rob Miller had two huge offensive rebound putbacks in the second half. So, yeah, I thought it was just good balance, good spacing offensively, and then good players making plays more so than running complex offense.
Coach, how fulfilling is it for you that there's been a couple of times this year where you've had a guy either go down in pregame warm-up, like when Derek Fountain went down earlier in the year and guys stepped up, or this case where Jalen Reed only plays 2 minutes and guys have had to step up? Like when you have to ask your roster to do a little bit more, you got to dig a little bit deeper, how fulfilling is that as the head coach?
Well, the exciting thing for me is we do the profiling of our players, and we have a very resilient group. And you know, they're tough. They're very connected. I think you see us starting to build our chemistry of our team, and so guys just want to do whatever they can to help the team win. And I think you've seen that game after game. You know, Corey Chess doesn't play the second game of the year. Then we go to Kansas State and he gets 13 rebounds in 21 minutes. Last night, Damian Collins had only practiced 1 day since he dislocated his shoulder.
Wow.
Yeah.
He goes out there, he gets 4 blocks, 3 offensive rebounds. I don't know if you remember, there was a play early in the first half. He got a block on one end. We missed an open 3 on the other end.
Yeah.
He comes flying in, gets the offensive rebound, and puts it back in. So we're long and athletic. We don't have a lot of bulk up there in the front court, but we are long, athletic, and we play hard, and that's been a good recipe for rim protection. I mean, against the second biggest team in the country last night, we had 8 blocks. They shot 41% around the rim, which is just elite defense from our big guys.
Well, and I've heard I love your answer on the offense and like how it needed to be run last night, because as a basketball layman and like many people watching, I think it's very easy to fall into like, you know, pass the ball, why are we running plays or whatever. And, you know, you have to understand, like, no, there are ideas behind these attacks, and they're being executed at a very high level. So like I said, so offensively executing at a high level, but then as you said, defensively also, whether perimeter, I know that about the rim protection last night. That's insane. But like when it comes to getting on the boards, the defense, is that more effort based than anything else? Because this is a team right now where a lot of guys are playing, and it seems like everybody, when it's their turn, They're going all out right now.
They are. I think we have the good balance. We're top, I believe, top 5 in the country in 3-point defense. I really believe in that. And then you combine that with great rim protection. The big step we need to take forward there, our defensive rebounding has got to get better. Some of it's coming off block shots. Some of it is, we're in rotations, and we got to have our guards come rebound down and help us. Their 5-man last night was a monster. I think he had 11 offensive rebounds himself. It's just trying to really have a good scheme there on the defensive side of the ball. And then when you have players bought in, we were very intentional in our perimeter defense in the portal, guys like Cam Carter, Jordan Sears, Jai Bailey.
Yeah.
And then, trying to have that long athletic rim protection. The days of, having 2 big guys sitting down there on the block throwing sky hooks are long gone. And so you got to evolve, and I like the way we're constructed there.
Coach, I know you've got 5 games in the non-con before you get to conference play, but since we're here in this SEC-ACC challenge and you look up and the SEC goes 9-1 against the ACC. I mean, the only loss was actually Kentucky, who's the number 4 team in the country. Does that get you excited for conference play? Or you're like, okay, well, these 5 games, let's make sure that we work on these things to get ready for conference play, because it's going to be a bear once it starts with Vanderbilt here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think it really just drives home what we talk about every day. We got to get better. We got to keep our guys focused on improving and getting better for the gauntlet that we know is coming in January, February, and March, while all at the same time taking advantage of these opportunities in the non-conference. That's 2 Big 12 wins now. With an ACC win. We have another ACC game coming up. Florida Gulf Coast on Sunday is a very good team. They had the Sweet 16 run not that long ago, so we'll have to be locked in for that. But the beauty of it is, if you can take care of your business, it's looking like every SEC game is going to shape up as majority of them being quad 1 games, right? With a few quad 2s in there from a strength of schedule standpoint.
Well, and I mean, if you look at last year, like we've talked about, right? You did enough in conference play. It was the out of conference that was the difference. Now you've done enough in out of conference, so we'll see when the fight begins. Again, guys, start to pack out the PMAC, guys. I mean, I know you've made a real effort in getting the students out there, and that's getting better and better. But this Sunday, 2 p.m., you got Florida Gulf Coast, you got SMU, another ACC matchup coming up. That'll actually be in Texas next week, but still. Start to support this team when you have the opportunity, because they're winning and they're putting out a really, really great product. Coach, I know you mentioned wanting to get better about getting better in the defensive glass, but over these final 5 games going into conference play, what are some of the other areas that you're highlighting that you think you'll want to focus in on?
Yeah, I think turnovers, that was the biggest key last night for us. You mentioned it earlier, 3rd in the country in forced turnovers. Florida State was 4th in steals, and we only had 11 turnovers. So that was a good step in the right direction for us there. And I think, if you look at the numbers, our second half offense has just been insane. Our first half has got to be better. And so, finding ways to make some better decisions in the first half to put some more points up on the board. And then we just got to stay consistent and keep getting better on the defensive end, because it's allowed us, when we have struggled some offensively, it's kept us in the game and kept us within striking distance coming out of the halftime break.
Coach, I certainly want to highlight a freshman before we get you out of here. Victorious Miller is somebody that, a young basketball player, plays 30 minutes last night, and it's like when you watch him play, you can see like there's a development within even like every single game, continuing to learn, continuing to get better. Played the most minutes off the bench of any LSU Tiger, and obviously, there was an injury, but still, like, is this what you expected from him, or is he maybe even above schedule?
Well, from a talent and a skill set standpoint, he's right where I thought he would be. I think just the consistency he's playing with is a great credit to him. I think that's 6 straight games now he's been in double figures.
Yeah.
And you saw him really take advantage of some of those matchups when he got their big guys on him there in the second half. They couldn't guard him. And, the unique thing, he's got great size for the position, Jake. He's 6'5", and he's got a really high release on his shot. So he's able to raise up and shoot it over big defenders. And I thought you saw that on full display. But the biggest step for him, everyone's going to see the box score and the scoring that he's putting up. He's gotten better on the defensive end of the floor. And that's been a big key for him. And for our team, the emergence of those two freshmen, Victorious Miller and Corey Chess. And then I think, Rob Miller, we changed his position in the last 10 days.
Oh, wow.
And he's really bought into it, and 2 huge offensive rebound putbacks. So those freshmen growing up fast has been important for our team.
Coach McMahon, LSU men's head basketball coach. Tigers currently 7-1, fresh off beating Florida State. They'll be back in the PMAC this Sunday against a good Florida Gulf Coast. You're looking for something to do this Sunday afternoon. I mean, what could be better than go to PMAC and watch some high-level basketball, doing a hell of a job here early on in this season. Coach McMahon, thank you so much for making some time for us during this very busy time of year and joining us.
All right, fellas. Means a lot. Appreciate you having me. We'll talk soon.